episode 84, part 2 of Africa's premier sports video podcast, the Three Quarters Podcast. As usual, remember to jump onto the hashtag Road to Japan to support the Kenya Simbas as they're looking to qualify for the Rugby World Cup in 2019 in Japan. I'm Tamima Duffield.
And I'm Ngara Kamuya.
So Kenyan rugby history.
Yeah.
And we're looking at Kisumu Boys High School, which was a little like St. Mary's in the sense that they had A-levels for girls back in the day.
In the day. Yeah,
Just that. Only that. Nothing else, just that.
Oh, back in the day. But yeah.
Yes.
The history of Kisumu Boys, of course, is centered around the construction of the railway. The Indians were the ones, the Indian coolies were the ones who were constructing the railways. They must have got into Kisumu maybe about 1901, and they decided to settle in Kisumu. So at some point, they decided to start a high school. The primary school started as a primary school, and became the Indian High School. Then in the early 60s, because of course, independence was coming through, and there were a lot of what they would call natives, actually the locals who was starting to go to school. So the school then was changed to Kisumu Boys High School. Actually, I think that should have happened in 1961. So the reason why we have to talk about this school is because of, in the rugby fraternity, one of the most, somebody who's definitely going to be a legend of the game once he retires is actually an alumni of Kisumu Boys High School, and that's Andrew Amonde, former Sevens captain, former KCB captain. One of the stalwarts of rugby in the past 10 years, and he's been a great servant of the Kenya rugby, both at 15s and 7s level. So yeah, we had to talk about it because we just had to mention where Andrew Amonde went to school. Yep.
We also have Quicks Nyakwaka.
Yes, Quicks Nyakwaka.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I know him as Quicks. Most people know him as Quicks.
Exactly.
And his little brother Kevin Adere.
Exactly.
Both went to that school.
Yeah.
Then we move on to our beloved union, Kenya Rugby Union CEO, or now former CEO.
Yes.
Ronald Bukusi. Resigned.
Yes.
And while everyone wishes him well and everyone is okay with it, I'd like to know your thoughts on this. I feel like I met Ron a while ago. I can't remember which Safari Sevens it was, but he came with the Chicago Sirens.
Yes.
Ladies team.
Yes.
And just the way he ran the team at that point, and just how polite he was and how understanding he was of the issues at the union, because I'd come to him and I'd be like, so Ron, I know you asked for this, but it's taking a little longer to get the approval.
Yes.
And all of that, and he's a gentleman by nature.
Yes.
Pretty soft spoken, seems to know what he wants, whether it's for the union or for himself, or whatever, or the right thing, the right way rather to do things.
Yes.
However, I feel at this union of ours, soft-spoken doesn't quite work.
Yes.
I'm not saying that Ron has not done a good job, but I feel like we have certain characters in the union who take advantage of the fact that you are soft-spoken, or that you won't, always stand your ground and argue with them, like a headless chicken. So I'd like to know what you think. They've got Sylvia Kamau, who was in charge of leagues and fixtures, standing in as acting CEO until I think it's December. I think Sylvia's new to the union. One of the newer directors come on, and and I feel like she's been there for a short time, but she's climbing slowly. I'd like to see what she has in store. I don't think we've had a woman in that position before. So hey, let's see what she's got.
Oh yeah, let's see what first, my thoughts on this whole thing. I think Ron was collateral damage. I think Ronald Bukusi was collateral damage. Somebody had to take the fall for the mess that the union did with the brand Kenya.
And Ron being the gentleman that he is.
Yeah, so I think, I don't know categorically, but this is just my opinion. I think he was forced out, which is unfortunate. But yeah, you have to feel sad for guys like Ron, because I think he had the best intentions when he came in as the CEO for Kenya Rugby Union. But his moves have just been curtailed by the people who have been at the board level. Because I don't think even him as a CEO, he has a lot of leeway in terms of what he can bring to the union. Like, I think about any organization, the chief executive officer is basically the person who drives business. So it should be Ron's work, or it should have been the CEO's work to bring in the sponsors and all that. But, when you hear, I think he met a couple of roadblocks, and the roadblocks being people in the board. And it's unfortunate for him that somebody who has worked tirelessly. Remember, even Ron was sick at some point.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, and he took some time off to go address his sickness. So for somebody who's worked very tirelessly, it's unfortunate that he has to be collateral damage. But that's the way it is. You only hope that now that Sylvia is in, she can be able to. They say that she's experienced in sports management. We have to see that now. We hope that she can bring in a couple of sponsors, because remember, we don't have any title sponsors. The Kenya Rugby Union doesn't have any sponsors, or title sponsors for that bit. So we hope that in the next 3-4 months she can do what needs to be done, and the board is actively hunting for somebody who's going to replace Ronald Bukusi. Whoever comes in, the board just has to relax and give this guy, the leeway to make the deals that need to be made as CEO. So as for Ronald Bukusi, good luck to him. We wish him the best in whatever he's going to be doing.
I'm just hoping that whoever comes in next has rugby's best interest at heart.
Yes.
Because it's very rare to find people like that. And when you do find, people like that, say like Ronald Bukusi and a few others, they get frustrated and at some point they end up leaving. I am hoping we'll get someone who, has the same interest, who knows this is what we want, this is what's good for the sport, and can actually, will be able to stand their ground and say, no, this is what we're doing. But yeah, best of luck to Ron, and best of luck to the union.
Yes, and best of luck to Sylvia.
That too. When you're in a position of power, per se, that is when you know who your friends are and who your enemies are.
That's true.
So let's see how this goes. So now we move on to international rugby, and we're talking about the Rugby Hall of Fame, who I'm sure a lot of people did not know existed. Yes, we do have a Rugby Hall of Fame. At the moment, it's got 142 people in total, and it started in 2006. So new inductees, and I'll just go through their names. Stephen Larkham from Australia. Ronan O'Gara from Ireland. Pierre, it's a French name, so please excuse me. Villepreux from France, and Brian Williams from New Zealand. And it's basically you're inducted having basically had a very large or considerable contribution to the game, and rugby's morals and all of that, basically.
I mean, there's one name you've left out, Lisa Burgess from Wales, who also is going to be inducted into the Rugby Hall of Fame. So I think the headliners of that class, while yes, no disrespect to the other three guys, to Brian Williams, to Lisa Burgess, to Pierre Villepreux, no disrespect to them, but I think the headliners of that class is Stephen Larkham, Stephen Larkham and Ronan O'Gara. Both of them fly halves. Stephen Larkham was Australia. I think, in my opinion, of course, there's some guys will argue Michael Liner, who's early in the 90s, but in my opinion, Australia's greatest fly half, Stephen Larkham. It was always a joy watching Stephen.
Argue with him.
Yes, it's a point. In my opinion, Australia's greatest fly half. Stephen Larkham. He was very intelligent in the way he played the game. He was not a very good kicker, which you'd expect with a fly half, but in the way he commanded the game, he did it. Oh man, he did it very well. And his partnership with George Gregan at number 9, and they started off at Brumbies, and then went on to Australia, the main team. You have to give them props in the way they did. He's a World Cup winner, of course, having won the World Cup in '99 with Australia. And I think everyone who talks about Stephen Larkham, you only have two moments. You have number one, a drop goal against South Africa, I think, or Scotland in the quarterfinals and the semi-finals of the 1999 Rugby World Cup, 40-meter drop goal, and he had an up and under kick in the 2003 final. Up and under kick that resulted in Lotte Tukiri's try. So yeah, that's Stephen Larkham for you. Ronan O'Gara, for a while he was considerably amongst the highest point scorers. He's been, I think, Ireland's most efficient, and not flashy, I'm just saying efficient flyer. He did what needed to be done. And his partnership with number 12 Gordon Darcy and number 13, of course, Brian O'Driscoll, they had a very talented squad. Unfortunately, Ronan O'Gara was unable to win the World Cup because of Southern Hemisphere dominance, but he was also a joy to watch. And we can see with his rugby knowledge what is happening. Actually, both of them, you can see with their rugby knowledge what's happening right now in the teams that they're coaching. Currently, as we speak, Stephen Larkham is assistant coach. He's the backs coach for the Wallabies. Ronan O'Gara is the backs coach for the Crusaders. We've just seen what the Crusaders have done in Super Rugby. So yeah, they were definitely a joy to watch in their days, but it also just shows us how old we're getting when people when people we watched playing are now getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. Yeah.
Yep. That's actually all we have for today.
Yes, that's
for part 2.
Yep. That's
but I'd like to, guys, first go look up Rugby Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And then after that, tell us who else you think should be inducted into the Hall of Fame. I really like to hear what people want to say.
Oh yeah, I do. Especially on Greatest Australian Flyer.
Yeah, guys, remember you can find us on social media. That is by following us on Instagram, liking our page on Facebook, and subscribing to our YouTube channel. I'm Timima Duffield.
And I'm Ngaro Kabuya.
See you in part 3.